Well, there we go. Well, here we go again. Okay. So, this is the first time in a while we've had this. Or, wait, it was... Okay, no, Stepping Out was sub, hands down. That was sub. But yeah, no, when was the last time we had a neither? Well, okay, it was part 1 of Dungeon Dice Monsters was the last time we had a neither. Well, now we have an episode where I don't have a preference for which version which episode version of the episode I watch, because I'll be skipping it both because I don't like this episode, and I know that I am probably someone who stands alone. There's 3 big reasons for me not liking this episode. If my headphones could stop being fucking stupid for a bit. I know I probably haven't explained my headphones. They broke a little while ago. Anyways, let's talk about why I don't like this episode, shall we? First and foremost, the biggest problem with this episode, by far, is... How do I put this? I'm at a loss for words because this episode feels like it just wants to engender drama for no reason. Now, we'll talk about the whole Kaiba thing in a minute, but let's just focus on the final scenes first. So Joey gets the crap beat out of him, and gets red eyes taken. And in the sub, this puts him into a depressive state that means he decides not to go see his sister. Okay. Fuck that. That is Joey being out of character, in my opinion. After the 40 episodes he went through, the entire arc he went through to get the money for the operation, it is so fucking stupid that he would be put into a fucking depressive state to the point just for losing red eyes. I get it. Red eyes was the whole point, the whole thing that allowed him to get the eye operation money, but it was just so stupid. It was like, are you fucking kidding me with that shit? Now, they cut that entire scene out of the dub, I'm guessing for time, but it's a scene that I think shouldn't even exist because it paints Joey in a more negative light. Not that this season is going to stop that anytime soon, but you get my point. See, the problem is you want to have the ghouls freaking attack Joey. You want them to take his red eyes, and you want that to be a crippling blow. Okay, I'm with all of that. Why not make it to the point where instead of the fake melodrama of Serenity not going through with the opera, well, Shizuka, let's just call it what it is. This fake drama of Shizuka not going through the eye operation because Joey's not there. Instead, make it so that Joey makes it at like the first thing in the morning, and then you can even have the dramatic scene of, oh no, you're a liar, Joey, and yada 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 yada. You said you would be here, and yada yada yada. That part's fine, but instead of this bullshit of she won't go through it because he's not there, and then to bitch him out, why not make it so that the ghouls attack him, he blacks out, which is fine. That's an idea that's fine. They black out because they beat the shit out of him, and then he wakes up at like 6 in the or just before the visiting hours, and he's racing to the goddamn hospital. And if you really want to have the dramatic, the whole phone Joey to try and, or phone Yugi to try and find him thing, just have that be a thing, right? Instead of this, he's moping and Tristan has to knock some sense into him, which is stupid in my opinion. Have have it be that he's on his way and he's racing and he's like exhausted, like no, no, I have to make it, I have to make it, I have to make it, and then that shows Joey's resolve. Then show that Honda has his back because Honda finds him on the way to the hospital. Okay, grab him on the bike, boom, boom, and then they get to the hospital. You don't need any of this nonsensical drama and the ticking clock nonsense. Just make it so that way they have a few hours to spare. It's so stupid. It is so stupid. Ugh. So, yeah, I hated that scene so goddamn much. So, let's shift back to the beginning. Yugi talks about in the sub the idea of irreplaceable cards and how it's weird that Atem's going to be playing by the anti-rule. I don't know. I think that's fine, honestly. But let's talk about the other thing here. Joey not qualifying for the tournament. Now, some people have said that this actually makes sense because he hasn't been in very many official tournaments. Okay. I am going to call bullshit on this, okay? Joey should be Battle City tournament qualifications anyway, regardless of any stance. Now you're probably thinking, well, why? Because he was the runner-up in a tournament hosted by the creator of the fucking card game and the CEO of the company that makes the cards. So, no, I'm sorry. I don't buy that Kaiba did not fix these fucking results to be an asshole. It's so fucking stupid. And again, it plays into the whole Joey and Kaiba or fucking hate each other bullshit, which I know I keep mentioning this rewrite that I may or may not have already started by the time these actually start going live, because I'm recording these like over a year in advance because I want to get a decent chunk of these done before I start releasing them, and some of them I need to re-record. Evil Spirit of the Ring coming to mind immediately, the intro video and the Evil Spirit of the Ring coming to mind immediately. So those two, by the way, are not the original recordings of those episodes. I don't know. We'll see how far I end up getting before I re-record that. But regardless. So yeah, no, I'm sorry. In both versions, I don't buy that Kaiba did not fix those results. That he's not being a fucking prick. Because again, they say in both versions that Kaiba hand-selected the duelists that would qualify. So, yeah, no. Also, why the hell wouldn't he let Joey do this? I mean, seriously, what would be... I get the idea that it's supposed to be a lack of cruelty, but no, that's still cruelty. And honestly, if he wanted to be more of a a fair playing douchebag, he'd let Joey compete, and if he loses, well, that's his problem, that's his fault, not mine. I didn't fix. He got into the tournament, and I let him have a dual disc out of my hands, But no, we have to have Kaiba be egotistical and douchey because Kaiba's got to be egotistical and douchey. You see why I'm not cutting the dub, or sorry, you see why I'm not cutting the sub any fucking slack on Kaiba yet? It's shit like this. Like, come on. Oh my god. Fuck that bullshit. Okay. So then we have a potential rule plot hole. Okay. Now, admittedly, there is a way we can wave the potential plot hole aside. I'm not okay, I'm willing to at least not declare it a plot hole. And this may be a nitpick, but and I know this is skipping ahead, but why the Joey forgets about tribute summoning egg from the Esperoba duel? Somebody fucking answer me that. And don't give me that, well, this rare stalked by rare hunter duel didn't happen in the manga, therefore, or no plot hole. No, that's still a fucking plot hole because Joey, he should have read up on the fucking rules. In fact, the sub even literally said, in the dub, they literally have Yugi talking to him about the rules, and then the sub, he reads the fucking rule book. Are you telling me that manga Joey is dumber than both of these? Because that's the only reason this exists, is because manga Joey made that mistake. I mean, he knows about Panther Warrior's limitations, for fuck's sakes. Come on. Don't give me that. Speaking of Panther Warrior, this is where we start getting into the level 4 monsters with 2000 or more attack. See, back in the early days of the card game, level 4 monsters basically didn't had to have a drawback if they were going to have 2000 or more attack. Uh, for cards like Jiragumo, it's like flip a coin and it's have your life points. In in the case of, there's one called Dark Elf, which yes, absolutely uh, a darkness version of Mystical Elf. Remember, darkness is not evil. Darkness is not evil. If you look up the artwork of the card, you'll understand why I'm making that. I'm pointing that out. Darkness is not evil. It is not evil. It is not the evil archetype or the evil type. No, the evil type is fiends, which I think is literally called evil type in the Japanese version, right? So yeah. So in Panther Warrior's case, you need to make a sacrifice. This is where the one of the biggest staples of Joey's deck, and the one that he will use the spell card I'm pretty sure he uses the most often in the entire rest of the show, who comes into play. Scapegoat. So, yeah, Scapegoat basically creates 4 sheep tokens. You can't use them for tribute summoning, but you can use them for other things, like, say, synchros, or I think you can use tokens for Xyz. I could be wrong about that. But links was where they really started to become prominent. So it's only really in the modern day that Scapegoat became a strong card. Although they do call this goat, they did call the format the format a format from around this era to be the goat format, which I always thought had something to do with Scapegoat, but no, I was wrong, because it's the acronym. GOAT is the acronym, greatest of all time. Took me way too long to find that out, by the way. So then the rare hunter keeps playing Graceful Charity. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is where we start getting into the draw cards, which is funny because Graceful Charity made its debut before Pot of Greed. Think about that for a second. Pot of Greed isn't even going to show up for a couple of duels yet. At Mime Control, I'm pretty sure it's the first time that shows up. Although I'll be paying attention to the duels coming up just to confirm that. So then Joey plays Alligator Sword, or attacks directly. And then Joey calls out Red Eyes, which is funny because could have actually prevented Exodia from coming out against him if he had attacked with Alligator Sword first, but meh. Or had Gearfried the Iron Knight now, but regardless. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't talk about the whole reading about the ghouls in the paper thing. That's how Joey finds out about the rare hunters in the sub. Is he read about them in the paper? So yeah. So then the rare hunter blasts Joey with Exodia, leading to the melodrama I've already bitched about. Now, the idea of an Exodia deck is something we should bring up, because this is the first time we've encountered somebody with an Exodia deck. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, do I want to talk about the Exodia deck here, or do I want to talk about it next time where we can talk about its Achilles heel, too? You know what? Yes, I will say that. But yes, this is the first guy that uses whatchamacallit. Excuse me. That uses the first time an Exodia deck is, well, a proper Exodia deck rather than just Exodia in a deck, So, yeah, that is pretty much it for me. How long have I been going? Oh, wow, this is even shorter than last time, and I thought the last time would be shorter. Regardless, though, I don't really have much to say. This is just a stock. What this is filler in, like, the dumbest way possible. In my opinion, you could have cut this whole episode, cut down on how long the rare hunter thing was, or even just if you really wanted to make the versus rare hunter thing a two-parter, have Joey get beaten in the first, have the first real duel against in Joey's first Battle City duel be against this rare hunter, right? And have it be, because the whole point of having it here, or second, I guess, have it be after Esperoba, right? Because then Joey gets the first duel of Battle City, and then we can have him lose Red Eyes, but not the Locator card because he's already defeated Esperoba, right? I don't know, something to that effect. I I just don't like this episode, and yeah, I mean, next time we'll see how Yugi fares against him, but for now, that's all I got. I don't like this episode, and this is an idea. This whole episode is an idea that I would just go right out the fucking window on any potential rewrite project that I may or may not be in the preliminary planning stages of. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and chop this off. I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts, and I will see you guys next time, where Yugi will have to face off against Exodia, the Forbidden One. Also, stupidity will ensue. Later, guys. Blue Wolf Alex of the Lore Walkers signing out. Have a good one. Duel standby.